Hello, this is Craig, and I'm just going to show you a few of the things I've done in this new version here. This is going to be a fairly social game. The NPCs are going to play important roles. So what I've done is I've implemented the basic idea of a social situation. When two people talk, there is a certain amount of control given to each person depending on their relationship. For example, if you are good friends with someone, you probably have about a 50-50 relationship. If you are talking to if you're a 5-year-old kid talking to your mother, they're going to have significantly more control. Even though they're very fond of you, you're not likely to be able to completely dominate the situation and order them around. Right now I haven't implemented the part where you actually make friends with people, but I have implemented the control system. That's Dave over there. All the names are random, and this is his bedroom. I haven't put any beds or anything in it because it's just a test. When I open the door, you can see in the upper right hand corner the social situation is 0% me, 60% Dave, and 40% chaos. Now, if Dave and I were friends, I would have a higher percentage and there'd be less chaos, but the fact of the matter is I've just barged into his room. He doesn't know me, and I didn't bother to knock. So there's a lot of concern. Now I'm going to restart and show you what happens when I knock. Because I've restarted, all the names are different. Don't be surprised when it's not Dave. So I have the option to knock, and I'll do that. And he says, "Come in," and I open the door. And now John has 100, or both John. Now the guy in the room has 100% control, and I have none. There's no surprise because he gave me permission to come in. This sort of region control system isn't just a one-off. It's not like I've hand-planted the system there. One of the major concerns I had in making this is that a level editor is quite a bit of meat you have to program, and I don't know of any level editors that allow you to do the kinds of adaptive systems that I need. I don't know of any that allow you to program chunks and then drop chunks into the level arbitrarily. So I created a new kind of control system, a new kind of mapping system. This is it. The building you see here is the building we're currently in. I'll switch back to show you here. There's the building. It's got a slightly different size just because these letters are taller than they are wide. Most of these tiles mean things. These are walls, windows, doors, bathroom stuff. But the capital letters are reserved for zones, or regions, as I kind of switch between calling them. Any part of the building that can be touched using an L shape from the region is part of that region, down into one layer. So A touches all of this, and all of this. So this part is also A. A is all of this. And C is all of this. Now when it comes to actually defining them, I just define them right below the map in text. There's no dragging and dropping. There's no defining a specific rectangular region as something. I put the markers down. If I change how the level is laid out, the markers might be in a different place, but they're still the same regions and they still extend in the correct manner. Here you see I've marked all of these regions as various types. Some of them have higher privacy than others. The privacy rating determines how upset someone gets when you barge in, but it also determines what side doors lock from and things like that. One other thing it can decide, I haven't finished programming this in, is the type and privacy level of the room will be able to populate the room with items automatically. Right now I populate them manually, so this place has a fair number of lamps, and I specify a region that the lamps should start from and then put in the offsets. That's a less sophisticated way of doing it, and in the future I will have automatic populations for most of these region types. Those automatic populations can take into account the person who has claimed the region. So if they have a bookshelf, it'll be full of books they care about. This region here, right now the characters don't have much personality, but this region here has been claimed by John, and so John has control over the region. John has also probably claimed all of the rest of the rooms in the house because there are no other humans living in this house. In the long run, region control will allow me to, because this is a very terrain-based game, region control will allow me to have really complex social dynamics based on who has controls of what regions. It'll also let me do some fairly nifty talking sort of situations. Right now I've replaced all of the talking with self-identification. Where am I? What region am I in? However, if I turn off that debug mode, whenever you pick something up, it'll start to talk about what you've picked up, and you'll start to talk to yourself about what you want to do with this thing you're holding. That sort of self-talk should also be quite helpful for lowering the barrier to entry. I know that there's quite a high barrier to entry on these kinds of roguelikes, and they often are pretty impenetrable. Well, that's just the stuff I've done in the past day, and I'm making this video just to keep the video flow going and keep my inertia up.